Welcome everybody to another edition of NXT on Tap. I am joined tonight by one of the greatest beards here on Off the Top. We have the Ginger Ninja, Jaxpo.
Hello.
Below him, we have the Encyclopedia of Wrestle Talk, Phil the Future. And then below me, we have the other founder of Rivet City Radio, alongside me, Shadow, and Al. The one, the only, the Will Gray. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good, sir.
Absolutely pumped.
Jax?
I'm like a little kid in a candy store at that ending. I'm fucking sorry. Like, dude, that ending. I know we'll get to it, but I can't know.
I feel like everything today was that way. Like, I felt the show started off a little slow, but that was just, I guess, me trying to be, a little too hyped for it, trying to expect too much, and I should have learned in the past not to do that with WWE. But yeah, I kind of get the best of myself when these things happen.
I think that Mr. Hickenbottom channeled his inner Southern wrestling with the way he booked this show. And there were ebbs and flows. And I told you, Scalz, coming into this, I was watching both shows simultaneously because I wanted to see how each show was booked going head to head. And I think you could see experience in the way Sean booked his show because there were ebbs and flows. He didn't feel like he had to go 1,000 miles an hour constantly because he knew, okay, this may cause a dip, but then we'll do this. And then, okay, we're back.
Yeah,
And
it's a bit of a roller coaster because it's going up and down a lot.
Bingo, yes, sir. And that's the way a good wrestling show is supposed to be presented. So 2 weeks in a row, I don't know how you fucking did it, but I'm here to say, like, NXT wasn't like it was a solid. Tonight was a great show. I'll say it. It gets the nod. It gets the great nod.
I don't want to keep saying it to everybody, but eventually people will start listening to me. NXT is one of, if not the best, most consistent wrestling show, period, week in, week out.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
AJ,
100%.
I think we knew you
100%
meant
AJ.
AEW, but hey, you know what? You aren't lying.
Dude, I popped.
Yeah.
We'll discuss we will discuss the ending.
Yes, we will.
But so what do you want to talk about?
How about the fact that we opened up NXT with the American Nightmare, giving us not just an announcement, not two, but three.
So, my question to you guys, was the announcement worth the hype?
Full transparency, I was at a Little League baseball game, so I missed the first 30 minutes, so I don't know the announcement yet.
You good.
So there was three announcements.
Yeah, I think. Well, the first one, I guess, with I'm guessing the first one was about the men's breakout tournament.
Correct.
Whatever. That one, okay. I mean,
So there's a men's breakout tournament now.
Yes.
Yeah, there's going to be a
Okay.
men's. I mean, there used to be one because Carmelo Hayes won like the first one,
So
and
it's
that
the
also
same
had people
one
like
that,
Duke Hudson and Odyssey Jones. People
Okay,
like
yeah,
that.
okay, I remember that.
Yeah. So yeah, he announced that. Second one was bringing back the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, baby, which was kind of expected.
That was the one that everybody was predicting was going to happen.
Right.
Was that
And
it was
that
going to
seemed
be?
way
He was
too
going to announce that he was going to announce the Dusty Classic.
Right. The third one was the one for me. I'm like, wait a minute, you're shaking things up. Cody Rhodes is now the special guest general manager of NXT.
For tonight.
Right.
That one did surprise me.
Yeah, that was like I beg your pardon?
I love you, Shadow. I love you.
Shadow, did you see who came out at the end of NXT? Damn it. Nothing sucks after that.
Come on.
I mean, it was great to have a GM again.
I mean, come on. Raw. I mean, NXT has not had a general manager since the days of William Regal.
I mean, technically, no show has had a general manager in a long time. I don't consider Pierce a general manager. I just consider him.
He's just
Like
like the head official or whatever.
Yeah, he's like the producer, like that's there and makes matches, and he goes, "It is official." Like, or he gets yelled at by Chelsea Green. Like that is what he's there for. But tonight, Cody was everywhere.
Oh yeah, you had multiple backstage segments throughout this show where he had like almost pretty much full authoritative control, where people are like, "Hey, I want to book this match. Hey, I want to book this match. Hey, let's have this match booked." And he's like, okay, all right, yeah, you got one. You know, like he's making actual decisions that, you know, it's not like something that is just going to be like, let me think about this for a little bit, and I'll tell you by the end of the night. But like, no, he was actually like booking matches, and that's like, hey, more power to Cody, and especially more power with this next NXT, knowing that Halloween Havoc's going to start a week from next week.
So what was your thought on the announcements, Will?
My notes for the Cody segment.
Mm-hmm.
Cody Rhodes open. Great. Whoa. Great. Whoa. Considering that venue only holds what? Jack's like 300 people, maybe?
Maybe.
I think the max they can hold is 400.
Okay. So
Full Sail used to hold 8. The Full Sail University used to hold 8.
My takeaway is, even if we TK bump it, okay, and we hit the 500 side, even if it was 500 people, they sounded like 5,000. That crowd blew the lid off the building for that. Cody ate it up. He opened it with a yeet, which I thought was awesome. Coming out of the media scrum.
You missed it, Jax. The whole crowd was chanting yeet, yeet, yeet.
We don't mix business and pleasure around here.
Oh, we got one of these again?
What? Sorry, I'm moving my stuff around.
So Cody says the lines and he does the things, you know. I don't understand. Every week he says it. I get it, but I get it. Something feels right. He talks about the announcements. I loved all that. The men's breakout tournament seemed almost a little predictable to me, because with the women's just starting and that to be the first thing he pitches, I'm like, okay, fair enough. But then he got to the Dusty Rhodes Cup. So he kind of pulled a fast one on us. And then he finished with the GM spot, which I thought was cool. All of that was great. I definitely think that if they were paying this man easily 5 figures to be there tonight, you would think about his contract, what it's worth, how much it would be appearances if you divided it down. This wasn't a 6-figure appearance. This isn't WrestleMania money. But, you know, he's probably making 10, 15, 20K for the day's work, which is hella money. And, I mean, they fucking milked it. He was in pretty much every segment, every hour. And this is just the first time he gets mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, I love the way they started it. It was a little slow for my liking. I would have preferred them to open with a match, because that's what the competition was doing tonight. So it felt a little bit different to see how both shows definitely do. After this segment, after Cody Rhodes is done talking, he gets interrupted by Dragunov.
Happy birthday!
And Dragunov comes out. They talk, chit chat, Everything's going good. And then you have Dom come out.
And Rhea.
And Rhea, who I will say, those pigtails.
Yes.
2 nights in a row. 2 nights in a row.
Yes.
Dom comes out, starts running his mouth. Crowd is booing him. Great job by the crowd. Love it.
Ilya, though.
And then him and Ilya start going. And Cody's just staying there, taking it all in. What did you think of this segment?
This was actually pretty cool. I was just laughing at the pettiness when Rhea started whispering in Dom's ear. You just see Cody whispering into Ilya's. I'm like, Cody, you stupid for that. I thought that was just funny of a way of him mocking him like that. And then there was something that Ilya said that I was like, oh, I'm like, yo, Dominic, like, you can't be claiming you from that prison life, boy. Ilya said his father worked in a prison. He gonna make a big dog like you into a teeny tiny little
he
puppy.
said I'm gonna turn a barking dog into a little puppy.
Yeah, I'm just like Ilya telling him, boy, you ain't about that life. My daddy.
So good.
I
really thought.
Plus, the special guest referee being none other than the megastar who runs WWE with everybody saying, a night.
Yeah.
No, wait. There we go.
I'm convinced that Phil sits at home and he rehearses these one-liners for the shows ahead of time. His shit's more coordinated than mine.
Do you have a mirror in front of your in serious, Phil, do you have a mirror you practice in front of?
Not really. I just try. I just make up shit as I go.
It just happens. It comes natural. I mean, if it comes
have
natural,
like a
that's
spark
badass.
of genius. I just have like a bit of a spark of genius that happens up here, and I'm like, you know what? This would be pretty cool. Just
thank you for the follow, Lashante. Appreciate it.
One thing about Dragunov, to rein it back in NXT for us, is when he comes out, he welcomes Cody, and then he talks for a second. And if you go back to Black and Gold NXT and NXT UK, Dragunov was always known for being one of the better workers, but he wasn't known for being a great talker. So the fact that he's getting comfortable on the mic now makes him twice as dangerous because he's already one of the best workers in the company. And now you put on top of that, he's becoming great on the stick, like when he's talking. So like that's a dangerous combo with somebody like Ilya. My biggest takeaway is when he goes to the main roster, can he translate that Napoleon Bonaparte syndrome to competing against 300 and 400 pound men in a heavyweights division that has, your Roman Reigns and your Bronson Reeds and stuff like that?
Right.
Give this one to me. Can I
Go
have
ahead.
this?
Bring it, Jack.
Go ahead, Jack.
Bring it.
Yeah, let me bring it, mother. Excuse my language. Let me bring it, motherfucker. Because can he have matches? It's not can he. It's how many will he?
I know he can. But what I'm
Dude,
saying is will they be able to convince the WWE universe to accept a champion like that?
Oh, hands, dude. He's going to be almost like a Mysterio, like the champion that everyone will root for, because that man will take a beating from anybody but never give up.
I gave him and Walter match of the year in 2021. I don't know what the hell my camera's doing.
Which match?
It was the
first one?
Ilya Dragunov and Walter 2 that was at Stand and Deliver, the year of the rain delay, the welcome back WrestleMania. Yeah. I'm gonna stand up and see if this will reset.
Reset it.
Wait. So Dragunov versus Walter 2, which would be NXT Takeover 36.
Yeah, the one that was right before WrestleMania 38.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that was amazing.
Takeover Portland's still my favorite from that era of NXT.
take over Brooklyn.
Mm.
I regret not going to that. But so overall, the first segment was okay. After that, we actually get our first match of the night. You have Asuka versus Roxanne Perez.
How was
with
that?
Shotzi on commentary out of nowhere, also announcing that not only did she show up on commentary, she made the announcement that she, along with Scarlett Bordeaux, will be the hosts for both nights of Halloween Havoc.
It kind of fits because they're doing this whole paranormal thing right now,
Yep.
so it kind of plug hole fits. So I understand where
Yep,
they're going with
but
that.
here's the thing: I spoke to Shotzi on Saturday, and I asked her, "Are we gonna see you? Are we gonna see you hosting Halloween Havoc
Yeah.
again this year?" And she's telling me, "Oh, I don't know. Maybe
Of course
that's
she's gonna
just
tell you
yes,
that.
'cause that is
Why
her
is she gonna
priority.
tell you that so you spoil it?
I'm not gonna."
Phil,
You just did because you told
your
her.
ass would have been on TikTok that night. No, guys, Shotzi just told me she'll be at Halloween Havoc for NXT.
I'm barely on TikTok these days.
Yeah,
like,
but you would have went on.
You'd
and
have been
told
all over
because
that
would have been,
motherfucker.
you'd have been like, "Yeah, this is how I'm getting my followers back."
maybe.
You know why? You know how I know you'd have been all over TikTok with that? Because I'd have been the same damn way. Going, guys, I got the inside scoop.
If I got a story for you.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with your camera, Will.
I don't know either.
Every time you get up and move, it focuses out. It's when you sit down, it unfocuses. Unfocuses.
So this match tonight, I wish it would have went longer. Like, that's my only disappointment. Because they are both great workers. And
Yeah.
they kept mentioning Asuka has never lost in NXT. They had me thinking it was going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, honestly though, yeah, as Scalz, I agree. As much as it should have been longer, I still think it was a very good match overall. And I mean, Asuka even gave her the rub, even gave her a bit of that rub at the end. Kind of just giving her the respect. And I'm like, hey, for somebody as young as Roxanne Perez being able to go against probably the queen of NXT, Asuka, like that is a major rub.
Tonight, you saw rubs on almost every single NXT superstar tonight from a main roster person.
Exactly.
So these main roster people, not only were they down there for this, but they were there to give the NXT superstars their respect and to show that they appreciate everything they're doing and cannot wait to see what they can bring. Because there was many of people tonight that actually surprised me with what they did.
Agreed.
What was the next segment after this one? Or you want to talk about this, Will?
My notes for the Roxanne Perez match and Asuka match are pretty straightforward. Shotzi out of nowhere, super cool. I've only recently became a Shotzi guy, so I'm here for that. I thought it was cool. They used this time where they knew all these eyes were going to be on the product to announce Deadline being on 12/9 being the last premium live event of the year. Like, I think that was perfect timing. That's a great marketing plan. Asuka controlled early. Perez comes back against the vet. They were both technically sound and working with the crowd. Asuka knew how to work the crowd in her favor. Roxanne Perez was the quintessential babyface, even though Asuka really didn't have to work like a heel to be a bad guy. You know what I mean? Like, they did such a good job working together. Asuka, my most important critique. What's up, Broadcast? I love you, Tom.
What's going on, man?
Down under, brother. Asuka let her get her stuff in. And I think that's super important when you watch vets work with these super young guys is, well, the vets let them get their movesets in. Counters for everything Perez have. And then Asuka had to kind of roll her up and take the counters to use a counter on a counter to get it. And I thought it was gorgeous. It was a great match. I gave it a 3.75 out of 5. Like this was a great match. There was lacking a few things to get that 4-star rating out of me, but I think overall for a free TV match and Asuka, working with somebody like Roxy, like awesome. Roxanne Perez. I'm sorry, wrong company.
It's the same person. It's okay. What was next on the show? Because I know you wrote everything down, Will.
The run-ins. Shotzi takes out Kiana James, helps Roxy out. I wrote her name down wrong in my notes too. Then they cut to Paul Heyman arriving and the angry British dudes getting amped up for the pub rules match.
Okay, so that was the
Paul Heyman showing up like, is no one gonna tell me where the front door is?
That was great.
Yeah.
Now, what AJ said in the chat, I don't think this was actually on NXT, was it?
Yeah.
Because I missed this.
No, it was. It was that person from NXT Anonymous.
Right. I found it on Twitter later, but I didn't. Yeah. I didn't actually see it on NXT.
Yeah,
where
was
this
on
the
segment?
Where was this on the card?
It was.
I think it was right after the 6-man tag match.
Right after the pub match.
Yeah.
Right.
Like a little bit after the pub match.
Okay, that's when I was helping my daughter with her homework. That's why I didn't see it.
Yeah, because I'll tell you, AJ, and what I thought about this was she's not ready to be thrusted into a bloodline storyline.
No,
that's my opinion on her. She hasn't had enough time to work her in-ring stuff out.
If they're not going to use her for in-ring,
yes,
I think it could be great. If they're going to use her for in-ring, let her still work NXT as well, and that's where she hones her skills, where she gets more matches in. But I think she would be a great addition to the bloodline as a way to get Roman versus The Rock.
That would be great.
Yeah, she'd be a good tie-in.
That's what I think this all is going to tie into. So
this was a good point where we can talk about the management of the show that I mentioned at the beginning too, because the way they blended all of this together, this was definitely kind of leading into their train wreck match of the night. But when I was talking about the ebbs and flows and doing things towards the beginning of the card that get reflected at the end of the card, and I feel like Heyman being a little bit interfered, like kind of weaseling his way into everything that happens throughout the night, is very symbolic of what's going to happen in the main event. And like I said, that's a very old school Memphis gets over everywhere way to book a wrestling show. So again, hats off to Mr. Hickenbottom and company.
So the pub rules match. I mean, it was a typical.
We got Gallus in full force, and we had basically a little bit of a reunion of British strong style, but yet a little bit of Brawl and Brits at the same time.
I thought it was pretty decent.
This is the match I found at the end of it when I got into NXT. So everything from here on out, I know what happened.
I mean, they had some funny little spots though. The fact that Tyler Bate took the I'm sorry. I'm terrible with names of things. Like what do you call that thing? I'm sorry.
What were we gonna say? Will
the pool stick.
The cue.
Yeah, the cue. He literally put the cue right down. He's aiming it carefully. Wolfgang's head comes up, bing, right in the eye. Like they started off with some funny spots because you had Tyler Bate with the cue right into Wolfgang's eye. Then you had Butch trying to massacre Joe Coffey's hand on the dartboard, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ! Those were some funny little spots just to start it off, but then, oh my goodness, there were still a lot of great spots, but those ones for me were kind of most memorable until what was it? Brawl and Brutes, I guess. shield bomb, gave a shield bomb to Joe Coffey through the table for the win.
What were we gonna say, Will?
It was a train wreck match. I wrote down what the fuck table spot, but I don't know which one I was referring to at that moment in time. But this is big, okay? Because this is the first point I'm going to bring this up. WWE went into a picture-in-picture for the first time at 7:29 Central Standard Time, okay? And I bring this up because the pissing contest on Twitter, right? You know, WWE says, hey, we're going to do the first 30 minutes ad-free. AEW says, fuck you, we're going to do the first 30 minutes ad-free, okay? So this is the point of me watching both shows at the same time. WWE went into its first picture-in-picture. What's up, Cam? At 7:29. They came back at 7:32, which means their first commercial break was 3 full minutes. That would be the one thing that I would say AEW had. The one biggest edge AEW had tonight was the management of ad space. But I think Tony Khan's bottom line is going to get hit way harder than WWE's does because he ran over the first. He didn't take his first commercial break until
47, I think.
Full ad break at 7:43 is what my notes say. So sometime around there based on where you were at in the stream and stuff, but roughly 43 to 45 minutes into the stream.
So this was just brought to my attention.
Yeah.
Tonight we had a wrestler on both shows at once.
John Cena's name was mentioned in the AEW credits for one of the shows on USA. Is that what you're talking about? Yep. There it is.
So
I have it written down in my notes.
Was on the screen in NXT. He was playing in an ad on AEW.
Yeah. I wrote it down. Yeah. I wrote down Cena on both networks. I thought that was amazing. That was such a cool fucking like little thing for them to do. And you know the people at TBS, TNT, Warner Brothers were like, hell yeah, we're doing this.
So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so I mean this match was fun. It was a nice little train wreck going on throughout the entire show. But yeah. What did you think of this match since this was the first one you actually seen, Jax?
I saw the ass end of it, but I have to agree it seemed like a train wreck match. Like just
can we talk about
the shit out of each other?
The big dick energy that Coffey had with that standing Boston Crab submission in the middle of the ring. Like I've seen that dude do some wild stuff here recently, like feats of strength that you don't see normal dudes pull off. Even eating the pin and taking that hellacious bump, that dude looked like $10 million tonight. Like everything he did was spot on.
That's crazy alone. I don't think I've ever seen somebody pull off a reverse Boston Crab before, and that was like, whoa.
And standing completely straight up, it looked like he was gonna Styles clash this dude, and he's like rearing back in a yoga pose, full Boston Crab on.
Yep.
We'll get to that, AJ. We will get to that. After this match, what was next? Was the next segment was it something backstage?
My next notes: Tegan, Valkyria promo in back.
Yeah.
Tegan and Lyra after they showed the trailer for week 1 of Halloween Havoc they're really hyping it up between Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria.
Hold on. Cam. So they are not changing his name. WWE is not changing. He decided to change his name. And we will go over what he changed it to and the reasoning as to why. So stick with us and we'll go over that. Yes, and the video package that they did for Becky Lyra, amazing. That got me hyped for that match in a couple weeks.
Yeah, December 2018, Fight Factory.
I love the continuation of Tegan Nox coming back.
Mhm.
because she is so good in a ring. I'm glad we're seeing more time of her.
Absolutely.
I just hope she stays healthy.
Facts.
Yeah.
Don't be wishing that out there. Don't. No.
I feel like I need
That's
to
like
say
saying.
it.
That's like saying. I hope Dakota Kai stays healthy, and every time someone says it, she's getting injured again.
She's getting an ACL torn again. God damn.
I liked the quote, "You couldn't get the job done." I like the callbacks and then keeping stories going about previous matches where Tegan just took the L against Becky last night. Like, I love the callbacks to that stuff. And again, proving that their money was well invested. I have written down a few times Cena tease where they'll either see him or he'll be talking to somebody. Like, they put him and Cody on the screen as much as humanly possible tonight.
They did, and it worked very well because it
Yeah, they did a
wasn't
great
just
job,
it wasn't
yeah.
about them, and that's the best part of it. Is tonight was not about Cena and Cody. It's about what they brought to the show. Yes, Shadow, we heard you the first 6 times you've said it tonight. You think both shows sucked. We got it. What was next after this? Because I don't have the rundown in front of me, and I know Will wrote down the entire show.
WWE cuts into a video package and some promo stuff. They come back at 7:46 p.m. Simultaneously, while they come back, AEW cuts to a picture-in-picture, and they do these stupid little Tony Storm vignettes. And when we get to the boom after this, no free shout-outs over on Rivet City Radio. I'm going to rip this shit to shreds, dude. They did this like 4 times throughout Dynamite, where they would do picture-in-picture, and it would be like these little like black and white vignettes of like Tony Storm being trapped in a box. And every time they came on, we just ripped them to shreds and made fun of it for it. So back, Cena, he comes out, like, goes crazy with the crowd, cuts a promo, making history, LA Knight, Cody Rhodes, tournament into a pub, singing songs. He talks about how beautiful NXT is, like that big John Cena push, and then Braun Breaker comes out, interrupts him. The Breaker sucks chants, and then like they go back and forth, they argue, and then he goes for the AA and he gets out. So this was the first Cena interaction with Braun Breaker in the ring. Like that's where that's pretty much this whole next chunk was those two interacting and cutting the promo on each other, and then getting a little bit messy towards the end of it.
That was a good segment. Braun Breaker held his own. Like, I was afraid that Cena was going to tear him to shreds on the mic, but he definitely held his own. Well,
I'm only giving the chat what they asked for.
You need to subscribe, Shadow, in order to use that emote. What was
This is the first time both shows go to commercial break at the same time as well.
Awkward.
At almost the 1 hour mark, both companies hit a commercial break, and I was so fucking thankful. Watching 2 shows simultaneously, I watched 4 hours of wrestling in 2 hours, and my brain feels like it.
I just never smoked your own stash. That's a true stuff. Coming from someone like me, that's a true goddamn statement.
Then we had the match that was made earlier tonight. We had Dominic Mysterio versus Ilya Dragunov with the special guest referee of LA Knight.
Yeah.
This match hit. Like, I don't care what people say about Dominic. Him going down to NXT has made him such a better performer overall in every single aspect.
Absolutely.
I cannot agree more with you.
And people hate him, but it's just so, like, that's his gimmick. That's why you hate him. But he's going to, if he stays with WWE for years to come, he's going to be one of the top guys. I'm not afraid to say it.
I Can't tell if Phil likes him or not. Fucking Tommy.
What was your thoughts on this match, guys?
Honestly, a great match with the addition, obviously, of L.A. Knight. Yeah. But the fact, though, that during this entire match, L.A. Knight did not once take off those shades. That
Any
true
and he had his leather vest on.
He didn't take the vest off. He kept the shades on. He's still rocking them cut jeans with the Timberlands.
You're the most fashionable referee I've ever seen in my entire life.
Absolutely. Like, this is what makes L.A. Knight L.A. Knight. Yeah. Like, come on. L.A.
This
Knight
was
has class.
This was the first match I got to see through its entirety. And I remember telling Will going,
ever give you
damn, like they're actually giving it like everything. And Ilya Dragunov, winner, like I there's not a bad word I could say about Dragunov because he goes out there and puts his heart into it every night. It doesn't matter where he's at.
Like, he's like the definition of what intensity is supposed to be. Like, everything he does, like, has a purpose, and it comes with mad fire and passion. Like there's no way you can get this guy to literally give up on whatever he wants to, because he will leave every single bit of blood, sweat, tears, and soul in the ring every single night.
Well,
yeah.
I'll make this quick because this match has the most notes I wrote down, okay? Because in my opinion, this may be NXT's match of the night, aside from the main event and everything that happened.
Right.
LA Knight out. I wrote down, I applaud these guys for quick entrances, because as somebody who watches a lot of indie wrestling, some guys take that shit way too hard. And like, these guys were super efficient with their in times and out times. LA Knight asserts his dominance early as a referee. I think that's super important. Dragunov took a technical advantage, and Dom plays the sleazy heel to get his stuff in. He's like sneaking stuff in when the ref's not looking and stuff. So again, a super well-produced match. I can't wait for whichever dirt sheet drops the producers first so I can see who did this. Dom and Ilya have a banger. Verbatim what I wrote down. Fighting back. They're still going hard. This match went forever. This may have been the longest match on the card.
Do they announce the producers for NXT?
It may not be as big. I bet I could probably find it. That's what I'm saying. I maybe should be able to find them. Ilya gets the win off of some nonsense. I think Trick catching Rhea was some cool comedic stuff to play off of some interferences and stuff like that.
Trick did come out of nowhere, low key.
So I think another takeaway from both shows is this is going to sound super petty, okay? But Jay White and Adam Page were having a match on AEW at the same time as I was watching Dom and Dragunov have a match.
Oh boy.
And when I do my grades, I immediately write down what I feel like that match gets immediately based when I got done watching, okay? Bell to bell, they were real close. I watched the finishes, and I gave them 3.7 for Hangman and Swerve. Hangman and Jay White, rather. And I gave Dom and Ilya 3.75. So I don't know if it was subconsciously me thinking that Dom and Ilya had a better match or what. But my notes, I didn't give them the 5 on their 3.75 out of 5. So maybe I thought Dom had a better match. Fuck it. I'll give it to him. Hunter Hearst Helmsley is the real name of Triple H.
Philly will never live that down. Just to let you know. But we still love you. You'll never live that down.
After this match, isn't this when they went to the back and that's when Cena was talking to Mello?
Mel and Trick. Yeah, but before that though, before that happened, like after I mean, what was it? I mean, LA Knight obviously stopped Finn from trying to interfere, just like get your bitch ass in the ring. And then JD tried to run interference, he failed, and then Rhea tried interference but fell into Trick's arms. He's just like, hey, she's like, get the fuck off me. But anyway, that'll happen. But then you got Baron Corbin's music playing as he starts walking to the ring to try to go one-on-one with Ilya. But then Dijak the Terminator comes out of nowhere and just beats him in the face, leaving him down. And now it's like, okay, so are we now going to get Baron Corbin versus Dijak at, next week to determine who's going to face him at Halloween Havoc? But then, I mean, we find out about that a little bit later after Cody talks with them. But yeah, I think this is when Melo and Cena had that one-on-one talk, and then Trick came in, and then they,
What do you think of Trick coming in and the way he was looking at Melo? Like, it's happening soon. When do you think they're going to fight? Because the tension's there.
Deadline.
You think it's going to be deadline?
Deadline seems like a legit. Deadline seems pretty legit to me.
Will it be for some sort of title?
Loser leaves town for a call up. Trick goes over on Melo, giving Trick the rub for Melo. Melo goes to the main roster. Loser leaves NXT.
Okay.
We got a Jade appearance. Did it? No Cora Jade appearance.
No.
Yeah,
he's talking about Jade Cargill.
He's talking the other Jade. Okay.
The only Jade. The other Jade? No, sir. Cora Jade.
Yeah, I'm about to say the only
Cora
Jade.
Jade is lucky to be breathing the same air as Jade Cargill now that there's two Jades in that business.
Fair enough.
Cora Jade is the
Fair
other
enough.
Jade.
I just
she's going to do a gimmick change real quick to protect that name.
She is.
Right. I mean, but if we're gonna go back to like what we were just speaking of,
so
I do find that weird look. I saw that look at that Trick was giving Melo, and I think Cena could easily read it like, is there something on your mind? And then Trick's like, yeah, basically just like, Cena just took him aside, like, yeah, let's talk.
After that segment is when we had Corbin coming in the back talking to Cody Rhodes, saying he wants a match with Ilya Dragunov because Cody owes him based off of what happened the last time they saw each other. Corbin says he wants to wipe the slate clean, wants to match with Ilya. Cody doesn't give in, but then he says next week there will be a triple threat match between you, Dijak, and the winner of Melo Braun tonight. And the winner gets the chance at Dragunov in Halloween Havoc. What do we think of that match that's being set up for next week?
I'm intrigued. As somebody who's only been watching the product a few weeks, like I see what some of the stories they're building here for building their mid card up and building these number one contenders and stuff. I think that, again, I hate to keep saying it, I see a lot of the callbacks to the Attitude Era style of wrestling because these kind of small mini week to week feuds like this is how they built the mid card up in the 90s so strong. That's why the roster looked so stacked back then, was because they made every feud felt like it was a big deal. They had a ton of matches on cards back then that weren't title matches and stuff because the small feuds mattered. And NXT is doing a good job of making the small stuff matter. Damn it, Scalz.
Sorry. Not sorry, actually, but yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I think that we're actually going to get Corbin versus Ilya, and that's going to be a fucking banger because Corbin was the last person to beat Ilya. So I think could be pretty interesting. Next, we had the breakout tournament: Lola Vice versus Danny Palmer. This match, I mean, I don't know much about Lola Vice and Danny Palmer, but some of the moves they were putting on tonight, the counters, just surprised the shit out of me. Like that one counter when she almost went to put like her knees up, but instead put her into like a head scissor and almost turned it into a submission move. I was like, that just shocked me.
Yeah, it looked almost like a head scissor, but then almost like into a triangle choke.
Yeah, and I thought it was just nice how they did all that. Like it was just this was a really good match. They got some time, and then we got Lola Vice with the win, moving forward in the breakout tournament.
Yeah, I mean, as far as who they are, obviously Lola Vice has still had a little bit of time to actually be on the main NXT since she's been in this little tag team thing with Elektra Lopez, and then for Danny Palmer, we kind of knew her at first for kind of just being pals with Sol Ruca, and then Sol Ruca got that injury, was part of that injury storyline with the mystery attacker, which turned out to be Blair Davenport, and that's sort of where Danny was from. But I mean, both women showed up and showed out. Like, I think one of the smartest moves I think I saw from them was, like, I know Lola was bouncing in between the ropes. Like, Danny went down, Danny leapfrogged, and then right when she went for another leapfrog, she kicked her in the air straight in the gut. I'm like, ooh, like, amazing. They did some amazing things in that ring, and I love how they're giving this with the women's breakout tournament. I love how they're giving each woman, like, they're giving these new women like an almost about a regular length match of an regularly lengthy NXT match, and they're really showing off like which women are going to probably make it to the top and which ones maybe not, but they're still making them look good.
Your thoughts, Will?
Was this the women's breakout match?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
it was.
Okay. I was making sure I'm in the right spots. The 60-second Jade Cargill thing, did we touch on that?
Not yet.
No? Okay. Is that out of that? It's long and the short of this is they had dueling women's matches. Both companies come back from break and they both go into women's matches. Hikaru Shida versus Saraya for the AEW women's title against the NXT women's breakout tournament. I think what the women did in this match for the amount of time they were given, solid match. And I gave it the lowest score, but not because of ability. It was more so just time. You know what I mean? Like, it was just a short and sweet match. And I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. But because of it, it kind of got hit a little bit points-wise. But I thought it was a great match.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Jade Cargill, she got out of a white SUV, and as it was pulling up, they're like, "Who is this?" Because everybody that they knew was going to be there tonight was already there, and she steps out, gets a huge reaction from the crowd, and she's met by Shawn Michaels, and he said, "Let's go have a chat."
Yeah, honestly, when she stepped out, I'm like, whoa, she came out. Did she come back from the Met Gala? Like, golly.
After that, we had the Brian Pillman Jr. vignette.
Yes. Oh,
Who?
my gosh.
Brian Pillman Jr.
Who? He will not live in the shadow of his father anymore, sir. His words, not mine.
Oh, no. It definitely was his words. And for everybody that's upset with his name change, blaming WWE and blaming everything, it's like, no. He has decided to change his name. He has decided to get a fresh start. He wants to make a name for himself. He doesn't want to get the name off of his father. So the first thing he did was he took the last name of who he said was his real father, the man that raised him, and that is King. and that's actually how it ends. He doesn't say what his first name is on the vignette, but he has come out, and they have come out and said it online, and it is because it is a tribute to his sister who has passed away. So his name that he's going to be known under in WWE is Lexis King. Thoughts?
Wait, his name is Alexis King?
Lexis.
Oh, Lexus, like the car brand.
But not spelled Lexis.
Right. Lexis King.
I'm going to be completely honest. I wish, like, a half of me wishes he would have kept Brian Pillman, but the other half, it's kind of understanding because these second generation stars don't want to be living in the shadow of their parents. Braun Breaker, like, you don't hear Steiner be, other than the little caveats, like he's making a name for himself. Ava, she's not The Rock. She's not Pebble. She's making a name for her. So, like, I don't know what else goes with Rock, but she's making a name for herself. Like, so I can understand the name change and I understand where it comes from. Now, I can't sit here and lie to you and tell you that I believe it's going to be a permanent name change. I believe one day he will take up on the moniker of Brian Pillman again. But for his first introduction to WWE, I'm glad that he changed his name. Start him with a fresh start.
And this promo that he cut, in my opinion, this is my opinion, was better than anything he ever did in AEW.
But Scalz, while he was cutting this promo, did you wonder in your back of your head, because I damn sure did, on who cut his beard?
I was not even paying attention to the beard.
It kind of threw me off a little bit because it was a little awkward. Not seen before.
It wasn't so much the beard and the Sharpie and everything that he did there. It was the Fifth Element, like, side shape.
Yes,
and how it was like Sharpied on the side of his head too. He looked like the dude from the Fifth Element who, like, would get nervous and sweat black ink. That's kind of what it looked like on the side of his head.
The guy that wore the plastic on his head.
This is a movie from the 90s.
It's a great movie.
For your time.
That is a great movie. One of my favorite movies.
BPE, before Phil's era.
Before Phil's era.
Whatever.
I will say it again. I will say it again. This promo was better than anything he has done, anything he did in AEW.
Yep.
I gave this
just
promo
for that, Scalz, I'm going to go back and rewatch it.
Yeah, because you were too focused on his beard.
That is teeth. He had very white teeth too.
Oh yeah, that's the veneers.
Thanks, Phil. After this, we went to the main event. John Cena came out first. But did he? Because all you heard was the first few notes, and then next thing you know, here comes Carmelo Hayes' music hitting. And I liked how they did that together. They didn't make it about Cena. They made it about Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah. They're I mean, come on. At the end of the day, they are two guys from Boston.
After that, you had
ladies and gentlemen.
After that, you had Paul Heyman come out, and this man made Braun Breaker sound like a superstar. Like,
yep.
The introduction he gave him makes me think things are going to be big and happening for Braun Breaker. And what? Sorry, I just read the comment.
Braun Breaker.
It just made me think that they have big things on the horizon for Braun Breaker.
They do.
Oh, agreed they do. He got Like, if this rub was any more public, they would have got an indecent exposure charge. Like, this is like Pee Wee Herman in the adult movie theater rub. Like, this was out
And-
there for everybody.
This is rubbing, tugging.
Yeah.
From the theme throughout the night with Paul Heyman and the backstage segment with Braun Breaker and then his introduction tonight. I don't know if you guys are getting this feeling and this vibe from it, but I think we're getting Braun versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
Lesnar gonna tear
can
that
see
boy up.
that.
That's what because you heard Heyman almost introduced Braun the same way he would introduce Brock Lesnar. It was almost identical.
You know, he did a great job. He sold the shit out of it. And I said out loud while I was watching with Jax, I said the words, he looks like a Paul Heyman guy. During that last promo backstage where he's like, I'll take everybody out no matter what their name is or whatever.
Mhm.
And Paul kind of hit him with that, oh shit, I don't know if I'm safe or not. Look, I was like, yeah, he's a Heyman guy. Like, he could pull that off well.
Yes.
And this match was really good. I enjoyed the hell out of this match. Him and Mello just have chemistry, and it's great. Will?
Let's see, my Mello. I loved Heyman's stuff when he came out. I thought Heyman is always gold. I said Breaker and Braun are going hard. I think they know as competitors, whether they'll ever admit it or not, they knew what was happening on the other channel. And that was the other guy's main event, which was Adam Copeland's debut. And you could see in their work, they were really trying to push that. Like, these guys deserve to be in the main event of this show. Breaker took over. The big gut buster looked violent as shit. Hayes made a great comeback. Then it kind of this is where it started to get weird because you had the Cena and Solo interference, which was wild, the code breaker on the outside, and then it all kinds of it was like a big wave that washed to the outside and then washed back in with a finish real quick. And I thought that wave was kind of cool. I gave this match a 4 out of 5 because of from beginning to end, it was like every piece of the puzzle fit together perfectly. This may have been the best produced match of the night.
Agreed.
But not the best worked match. I still say
not the best worked match.
May have been the best wrestling match. This was the best produced match of the night.
That I will agree with. When it comes down to wrestling, my match of the night for NXT was Dom and Ilya. I just felt like it delivers for both of them. They both looked real good in it.
Agreed.
But when it came down to producing in an in-ring match to go up to what they knew they were going up against and being two younger talents, they held their own.
So we had Mello get the victory. And then
Braun
Breaker
Breaker right after
attacked him, speared him. He grabs the mic. He then goes, I am the toughest badass in the entire WWE or NXT, whatever he said. And then next thing you know, you hear the gong. Lights go out, and we're getting the Undertaker.
But we
That sounds like a Honda Civic.
But we got the American badass Undertaker back.
And it was something we never thought we would see again. You never thought you would see the American badass come out. You thought that was done. And it was just amazing to see. And if you follow people on Twitter, Corbin was like, why do you have my bike? Doing all these different things.
Yeah, man. I love Corbin.
Taker comes down to the ring, gets in the ring. As soon as he takes the mic, first thing he does is he takes off the sheath of the mic. It's just a plain mic, which I don't know. Has Taker always done that?
I don't know.
Or is that something that he just did now because of everything with his One Man Dead show?
One Dead Man show. I don't
One
know.
Dead Man show, whatever it is.
I don't know. I don't know necessarily right off if I've ever seen him rip it off, but
Yeah, because that was interesting to me. And then him and Braun have a great back and forth.
Yeah, like Braun literally first thing he said, "Listen up, old timer." Like, I beg your pardon, sir.
Braun not only held his own tonight with Cena, he held his own with Taker on the mic as well. This man got rubs from two of the greatest ever
Of all time.
to do it. If you don't think that WWE believes in Braun Breaker, tonight should prove to you that they do. I want the Taker shirt. I hope it's for sale.
yeah, I love that shirt.
The
That was a great shirt.
old school choke slam, tombstone, last ride. Ooh,
Great shirt.
great shirt.
Can we say that was probably the most hype I've seen on a Taker choke slam in about 15 years?
I want so much to get one more out of him, considering what we've gotten from people like Ric Flair and Ricky the Dragon and all of this. And you mean to tell me that we can't Stone Cold Mick Foley, and you mean to tell me we can't get one more out of Mean Mark Calloway?
Man.
I don't know. This man moves slower than some people.
Yeah, but Tyrus just lost the NWA title.
Yeah.
God damn it. Well,
Yes, but we know he shouldn't have been wrestling a long time ago.
Also true. Also true. Also true.
Somebody call my mama.
But this segment was awesome, though. Like, I loved every moment of it. Taker looked great. Got on a mic. Very happy with everything. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be. That's the problem. I think that's the shirt he did.
Yeah.
But yeah. Any other thoughts on NXT before we close out the tab for the night?
Like always, for me, it's a well worth to go back and watch. Like, if you didn't get a chance to see it, if you were one of those people who didn't want to decide and not watch both, go back and watch it. It was well worth the watch, especially that ending.
I agree.
I absolutely think so. As somebody who was a staunch advocate for kind of poking fun at the Tuesday night brand, the last few weeks of doing this with Scalz and Jax has definitely showed me, like, it's not a lack of. I think for me, I was watching so much indie talent that I didn't want to watch WWE's version of indie wrestling. But if I watch NXT the same way I do wrestling, it's just good wrestling. It's not going to be great. You're not going to get Monday Night Raw on Tuesday night, but you're going to get a great, consistent wrestling show week to week. And I don't think enough people give them credit for that.
I agree.
So, as we close out another Tuesday night with NXT on tap, Jax, where can we find you?
You can find me here every Tuesday night for NXT on tap, and Tuesdays on the afternoon for Nerdy News at 4:20. It's awesome. We do the damn thing. Wednesdays, you can find me on the Wrestle Talk Wolfpack over on twitch.tv/Wrestle Talk Wolfpack. And all the other shows I'm on, just follow me at Twitter at Jaxpo2020.
Bill?
As far as seeing this beautiful mug right here, you can find me basically on all socials under the name you see right down here, Phil the Future. I am here every Tuesday night. And that's where I'll be.
Will?
I'm not sure how Phil's eyes are more closed than mine and Jax's, but they are. If you're interested in my
Past his
shenanigans,
bedtime.
yeah, it's way past his bedtime. If you're interested in my shenanigans elsewhere and you want to see what I do, if you're here, you already know. But find my link tree at The Will Gray. You'll get all of everything for Botch Spots, for Rivet City Radio, for Off the Top, for Creation World, all of my dirt sheet writing and nonsense. It's all there. Thank you guys, as always, for allowing me to come in, Scalz.
So just a little housekeeping. Right after this, actually live already as it is on Rivet City Radio, we have The Boom with Cam G. Normally that is on Wednesday nights, but it is on tonight because AEW was on the same night as NXT. Will, are you doing anything tomorrow night in place of that?
My understanding is that Cam is going to be running in that hour time slot. It's going to be just kind of an open dialogue about wrestling, nothing particular, since he's running the Boom now. He's just going to be running in that time slot, kind of a general hangout vibe discussion on the world of pro wrestling.
Okay. Thursday night, we have the Boss Bitch Trivia on Rivet City Radio as well. Is that at 9 p.m. Eastern?
That is
it
9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Yes, sir.
Okay. And then Friday night, we have FNR, 10 p.m. right here on Off the Top, right after SmackDown. And then Saturday, right here on Off the Top as well, is our Ringside Chatter, 10 p.m., where we cover anything and everything about the NHL. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Stick with us as we head over and raid our sister channel, Rivet City Radio. Have a great evening.
Bye.
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 This is when you